The man merely accepted a matchbox, only to discover strange words on it. The Hellgrammite method can solve drinking problems. Murray wanted to turn back and ask the old man for clarification, but when he looked again, the man was already gone. He slipped the matchbox into his pocket and continued drinking. The waiter, Jimmy, reminded him that the pizza was getting cold, but he didn't care at all, downing one drink after another, immersed in a sea of alcohol. When he finally woke up in pain at the table, the bar was already closing. Murray had no choice but to take the pizza home. This dinner that had originally been planned was a full 5 hours late. Facing his wife's cold expression, he thought reheating the pizza would be enough. Franny was just about to lose her temper when their son came out. He still had school the next day. Only then did Murray feel ashamed, his mind still occupied by alcohol. This was his wife's final ultimatum. Following the address on the matchbox, he paid a visit. Murray welcomed him, and the box mentioned an antidote called Hellgrammite. At that moment, he noticed a liquor bottle not far away.
Go ahead. Help yourself. You want one? No, thank you.
After pouring himself a glass, Murray talked about his frequent hangovers. He was a full-fledged alcoholic who had tried all kinds of treatments, none lasting more than 2 or 3 months. He truly loved drinking, yet hated himself for it just as much. Murray said he could help. This was a one-of-a-kind method. He opened a black box containing a pile of red capsules, and Murray casually picked one. Just as he was about to swallow it, Murray warned him. Was he sure? Once this method was used, there would be no turning back. Murray felt it couldn't get any worse, and swallowed it anyway. After confirming, Murray told him to go home and get some sleep. Murray wanted to ask about the price. Murray said the first dose was free, and payment could be discussed if he chose to continue. At this point, Murray was about to leave for work. Before leaving, he wanted to apologize to his wife.
Franny, I think we need to talk.
Talk? Miley, I'm fed up. Do you understand?
But their son appeared again and interrupted. Murray hastily agreed to talk that evening and promised everything would change. Franny felt no emotional shift. That evening, Murray returned to the bar, this time craving some hard whiskey. After finishing the last glass, Jimmy stared in astonishment. No one had ever drunk that much and remained sober. Murray sensed something was wrong. His brain felt nothing at all. Only then did he remember the red capsule. He returned to the consultation room, where Murray explained the treatment details. Inside the red capsule was a kind of worm called a Hellgrammite, a rare female specimen that had already attached itself to his stomach. Murray thought it was some kind of joke, but Murray sternly warned him. Drinking would stimulate the worm's growth, and it would absorb all the alcohol. Seeing that he still didn't believe it, Murray opened a nearby cabinet. Something was soaking in a jar. Murray slowly leaned in to look. Inside was a not yet fully grown Hellgrammite worm. He finally broke down. Something like that was actually inside his body. Murray reminded him that no amount of alcohol would ever satisfy the worm.
And if ever you stop drinking, the pain will be excruciating.
How could you do this to me?
You did it to yourself.
God, gotta get rid of it! You can't!
Murray wanted to find a way to get it out, but even the best doctors couldn't do it. The only solution was not to drink. Then the worm would enter a dormant state. It would keep waiting to feed, and each time it was awakened from dormancy, it would become stronger, eventually killing its host. Murray felt a twisting pain in his stomach. Drinking alcohol could relieve it, but that would mean losing his life. Looking at the joyful family photo, he finally made up his mind. Not just for himself, but for his child and his wife. First, Murray asked Franny to take their son to stay with her parents for a while. He needed to completely solve this problem. After closing the door, he gathered his treasured liquor, and suppressing the pain in his heart, poured it all out. An intense craving surged in his stomach. He even wanted to lick the alcohol off his hands, but hurriedly turned on the faucet to wash it away. Even the slightest contact would undo everything. At that moment, the landline rang with a woman's voice. Franny kept asking about her husband's condition, but Murray said nothing. Only after she hung up did he curl up on the bed, eyes empty. If he wanted to drink, he poured water into his stomach instead, but it couldn't ease the pain at all. Murray desperately wanted to clear his head, yet the craving was overwhelming, something Merlin found very satisfying.
The pain you're feeling is nothing compared to what I went through when I lost my family!
Murray didn't continue complaining, he just gasped for air. Murray picked up a photo on the table. If he had quit drinking earlier, he wouldn't have lost his wife and child. Compared with that loss, the pain now was insignificant. What Murray wanted was a second chance, and it had already been given. Either quit drinking and welcome a brand new life, or drink heavily and be devoured by the worm to death. The craving grew stronger and stronger. Murray's body trembled uncontrollably. Even lighting a cigarette was extremely difficult. One deep drag still couldn't calm him down. When he went back to the faucet to gulp down water, unbearable pain erupted in his abdomen. The worm began churning violently in his stomach, as if it were desperate to burst out. It was a form of resistance. He could only press down with his hands, crying out in excruciating pain. At this moment, he was having a nightmare in bed, various sounds echoing in his ears.
It comes back stronger. Eventually, strong enough to kill you.
Murray could no longer endure it. He rummaged through the kitchen, praying to find something to ease the pain, and eventually found a small bottle of liquor. Reason told him he couldn't drink it, but his body wouldn't obey. He clenched the bottle tightly in his hand and let out a heart-rending scream. Back in the familiar bar, a man sat in the usual seat. As he was about to light a cigarette, someone behind him handed over a match. That person was Murray, his face no longer pale, calm and steady, handing over a white matchbox. The man took it in confusion, and Murray turned and walked away. After settling the bar tab, Jimmy offered him a free drink. Murray smiled and shook his head in refusal. He had successfully quit drinking. Outside, the sunlight was dazzlingly bright. There are no shortcuts for quick fixes, and no simple worry-free methods. Some things can be achieved through personal will and action. Others require entering the twilight zone to search for answers.